Hello, very good. How are you all? Well, this video is commissioned. I was asked to make a commissioned video yesterday. Well, yesterday they didn't ask me days ago, but I didn't until yesterday. I didn't wear anything. They asked me how I found out that I had the tumor, how my whole story began to know that I had a brain tumor. Well, very easy. I remembered all my life because it was Tuesday afternoon. I played ice hockey. And on Wednesday morning, I woke up with a headache. It hurt a lot, as if I had been kicked here very hard. My head hurt a lot. I screamed in pain. I was scared of everything. The whole block, because I screamed. It was outrageous. Then my wife told me, wet your head with a gaffria to see if it goes away. And I wet my head with a gaffria, but it didn't go away. The pain went on. Then I began to notice myself, something strange in my face that was falling asleep, but I didn't give it importance at that moment. I let it pass. Then the headache subsided a little, and I told my wife, give me breakfast, because I would make a lot of physical effort there playing ice hockey, and the headache would go in because I lacked vitamins or something. So having my coffee, it started falling over here, and I said, wow, what's going on? I went to the effort and avoided the crooked face that had left me without a facial. What does it say here? Well, come on, for urgency, I left for urgency just as I entered the door without saying words or anything. They saw me with the Kerator side, and I told him I have a headache, and they saw me with the Kerator side quickly. They told me that you are an intimate. They gave me all the tests. They gave me intimate tests. They all gave me the chest thing, everything and nothing. All that came back negative. Then I saw myself at the doctor without doing any MRI or anything bad, and he told me those are nerves. You have questioned nerves, and it has entered you. Nerves, let your GP control you, and I'm okay. Well, let my GP control me, and I went to the GP in the middle of the head to change the story. He said, you have a herpes in your ear. I say, I forgot. He says, yes, you have a nerve in your ear. And I say, okay, well, I have a herpes in my ear, and he gave me herpes medication. After a week, I lost my hearing, so I went to the doctor, the ear doctor, and said, look what happened to me when the doctor saw me with a crooked face. That he had told her that he had a headache and that he had lost his Allah had lost his hearing. What did he do? He ordered me to do an urgent MRI, which he personally called and asked to send you to a boy to do an urgent MRI. Please do it. And they gave me an MRI. They just arrived. They gave me an urgent one. And after 2 or 3 hours, the MRI people called me, and I had to come back the next day to do the MRI with liquid to see everything well. That right there started to fly up my nose, saying, what the hell must be happening now? And when I came out of the MRI in the morning with liquid, they told me, you have a tumor. It's not. It's good. It's not malignant. It's benign. You see the doctor, the otolaryngologist, and he will explain it to you. I went to the otolaryngologist, and the otolaryngologist told me, you have 1 SMMM to take the entrance exam. This cannot be operated here in Andorra. You have to go to Spain. And where I'm going to Spain says, you have to go to Dr. Garcia Ibanez and he will operate on you. I went to Dr. Garcia Ibanez. We repeated the MRI. The tumor was very approving of the brain. They had to operate on me from the time my headache passed until they operated on me. 3 weeks passed and I was already operated on. The tumor measured 3 cm and weighed 4 grams. I was told that was the only thing that pissed me off a little, that I was going to lose the facial, that I was going to go deaf, but that I was going to have Timmy tooth, that I was going to have in hours, and I was going to have headaches. They didn't make that up to me, and that's what gives me the most headaches. Tinnitus this, because in itself, the off situation, I have already gotten used to the ear not listening. I have already gotten used to it, but tinnitus, I can't stand it. I can't stand headaches, and I can't stand them. And they had to touch me a lot because they had to open me twice because my tumor was very attached and he was in danger of crushing his brain. They had to take it all out, and mine was to put my hand in and take out what I could because there was nothing else I could do. So once the tumor was removed, well, you already know my story. I have already explained it every day. This is how it all started, more or less, so you have an idea. The person who asked me this was with a great pain here in the back of his head. If I hadn't had the headache, maybe I would have been paralyzed. Maybe you get loss of deduction because you manage those things, headache, paralysis, or loss of deduction. And I got headache, paralysis, and loss of deduction first in this order, but you can only get one of the three. I mean that if this happens to you, the best thing is to do to the doctor, have them do an MRI, and since it is a rare disease, many doctors do not know what it is. What happens to the emergency doctor who had no idea what it was? And they send you to the head doctor to get the hot avocado. You insist on MRI with liquid so that everything can be seen, and do not leave the hospital until they tell us what you have. Well, because I went home thinking that I had nothing, that it was nerves, and I had a 3 centimeter tumor. Okay, guys, by this I mean everything. Watch a lot. I hope it happens to you. You know my story, like. You have summarized it a little bit because it is a little bit longer, but you have summarized it as much as possible so that it fits into a short video. Okay, if you want me to explain it to you in more detail, I'll make another video and explain it to you again. Okay, well, greetings, and until the next video, goodbye.